Hey, welcome to another edition of Faulkner Fixes All. As you can see, no Hawaiian shirt, beanie cap. Yeah, the weather's changed a little bit. It can't all be sunny 80-degree days. So today we're gonna tighten up this. I found the tool for it. Here's a little finger tool. Boop 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 boop. Grips on these little notches. I'll get your peepers in here in a second. We found a really clean Schwinn emblem. We found a nice one, real clean. And we found the screws. And this is the piece. Oh, but today anyway, we're gonna go through all this. We're gonna tighten the headset bolt. We're gonna put the Schwinn emblem on. I'm going to show you about Schwinn wheel locks and why we can't use them on this fork, even though this fork has the indents for them. And we're going to tell you if I'm going to use this chain guard or not that I came with this. So without further ado, here we go. Okay, so maybe I'll get you in here so you can see what's going on. And then we'll put you back. Oops. Oh boy. Alright, so we've got these notches here on that little spacer that I put in there. And the reason I put that spacer in was because this bike was originally a 5-speed, and on the 5-speed there's a little shifter. That's part of the shifter, it's not the whole shifter. But anyway, this bracket fits right there, and since we're not going to use this bracket, this bolt that tightens the forks against the headset adjuster bottoms out because Schwinn has a little lip on there. Most bikes do. So we needed to bridge that difference so we can tighten this bolt. So that's why I use that ginormous slotted washer with the little square pegs in it, square indents. So what we're going to do is, I've got this adjustment where I want it. It feels pretty good. So I'm going to hold this little finger wrench, spanner. Well, some people call it a spanner. I call it a metal finger. Anyway, you hold it on there, and we're going to grab the big adjustable, and we're going to crank this nut we're going to crank this big nut clockwise and hold this adjuster washer where it's at. Okay, because it's threaded. So let me put you back on the stand and we'll do that real quick. I might move you a little closer too. Okay. Now sometimes when you tighten these, it really feels good before you tighten it. But then, when you tighten it all up, it cinches down on the threads just a wee bit, and then it's too tight. So always kind of double check, and you might have to unscrew this adjuster off a little bit, and then tighten it back up. But I think I got it pretty much where I want it. We'll see. So I'm going to put that little holder on there. It's finger tight right now. Maybe I should get that ready. Okay. Okay. We're going to put the holder on there, kind of hold it with my leg on the fork part. And still feels good. I'm going to do one more. Always remember where the wrench is going to go if it slips. That's pretty good. It's not moving anymore, that's for sure. Okay. Looks pretty good. I had another style wrench here, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Look at that. Maybe that one will work a little better. Might not, though. Yeah, it's kind of ginormous. Yeah, it's too big. That's way too big. Okay, so it's pretty tight. I'm good with that, and the adjustment's still there. Alright, so let's put the emblem on. Let's get you in close for that. That's fun. Going down. Okay. On these Schwinn emblems, the bolt that holds it on, the screw, is so small that I usually put a piece of cardboard down in case you drop that little tiny screw. Because, man, if you drop these screws, the chances of you finding them are very slim. I don't think you can even see this, me holding it up, but it's really small. And if you drop it, it's basically all over. Unless you got a magnet and a lot of time. And this shop, if you drop a screw this size, you're probably not going to find it. So I'm going to put my glasses on for this. Okay, so here's another trick. You put the screw through the emblem first and hold it. That way you got a chance, you know. So the screw's right there and it's through the top hole. And I'm just going to bridge it up to that other hole and hopefully I'll be ready to do it. I'll put the screwdriver right on it. And I've dropped a lot of these screws. It's not fun. So I got the screw through. I'm just going to find the hole this way. And yeah, see, I almost blew it. It's easy to mess up. There we go. We found the hole. Get it started. There we go. Like I say, this is a really nice clean emblem. One little gash in it, but it's not too bad. Make the bike look nice. Okay, so obviously I can't start this other screw through it with it already there. So I'm just going to try to find it, wiggle it in. These don't have to be super tight. If you over tighten them, you'll strip the hole. Just give them a little oomph. This bottom one's not cooperating too much, so I'm going to back it back out until it kind of catches again. There. And then we'll go back in, see if that catches. Yeah. And there it is. A nice Schwinn emblem. Okay, so let's talk about these wheel locks. This is a Schwinn wheel lock, and it fits in special Schwinn forks, which I don't have any right now. Well, I can show you what it doesn't fit. So on the Schwinn fork that these fit, there's a bigger hole here. This one is not the style. This is not the correct fork. But I'll show you on this other fork what's going on. Okay, now this is not a Schwinn forged fork, it's just a tubular one, but they were still using these wheel locks back in the day, and they're nice to have, they're really sweet. If the wheel gets loose, it takes a lot for the bolt to get loose and that to pop out of there. And how they work is, they go up in this bigger rounded area and snap in. They snap into that bigger part of the fork opening for the wheel. And that way, it's really hard to hold this, but let's see if we can do it. There we go. Let's try it this way. See, so it's in there. It's in that bigger hole, and it won't come out. The wheel won't come out unless the nut is completely off, just about, see? So it stays up in there and it won't slide in. It fits in that bigger part of the fork bolt, and it stays in there. Now, I'd love to use these, but since I have this giant beach cruiser rim and the axle is bigger, that won't go over it. So I can't use these without a different wheel. And no big loss. I mean, it's just a cruiser. I'm not jumping over mountains. I could drill this out, but then it would basically ruin. It would take too much of this lip away. And it would fit on that, but it would ruin it. Okay, so that's why I'm not using them. Thought I'd let you know. Alright, so let's put the front wheel on and go from there. We're figuring it out. Look at that. We got a nice emblem. Oh, that's sweet. Alright. Okay, we're kind of just centering the wheel up. Put it in the center, tighten one side down. It's not rocket surgery, not rocket science. Rocket surgery. Yeah, it's fairly simple. Like I say, we're not going to use those Schwinn locks because this axle is too big. And we now have a wheel. Okay, so it'd be nice to have a front brake. And I was going to use this nice alloy one, but I think it's too short, and I'll show you why. I need to hire a film assistant. Wanted film assistant for semi-accurate bike videos. Okay, so this brake, usually they say what size they are here, but it's too cheap to even say that. Sometimes it'll say 2.5 or whatever there, but I don't think it's going to fit, but we're going to try it anyway and see how close it is. And not even close. Well, let's see, maybe. It's maybe. It's really tight. I don't think that's low enough to get the pads in without rubbing. It's really tight. I might try it later when I get some pads. And then there's this one which I know works. I know this bigger one will work, but I really don't like the look at it. It's very cheap pressed steel. It's a good size to go off, though, if I was to get an alloy one. It's just too cheap, and we'll just see if it's the right size. I'm not going to use this one, by the way. There's no way. That would disgrace this bike. You got to try to use some period parts, you know, stuff that actually might have come on the bike. Yeah, see, now these have plenty of room to get the pad on. It is the right size brake, but I'm not going to use it. No way. We'll try to find a better one. There is a way. There is a way to slot these down a little bit to make the pad go lower, but it's not recommended, and it's kind of dangerous. It weakens the brake a little bit. Okay, so we're going to put this chain guard up on it and see what it looks like. I really have my doubts about the chain guard because I don't really like the way it looks. So we'll just hold it up on there and see. Yeah, it would probably work fine, but and it's the right color. It was sprayed with the bike, whoever did that. I just don't like it. It's It's a 77 chain guard from a Suburban that somebody put. They did a pretty good job. To their credit, that's an actual rivet that's pounded. It's not a pop rivet. And this is a longer piece they got from another chain guard. To their credit, they did a pretty good job. It's just the wrong one. And I'll use it if I have to. Okay, so let's get it off the stand and see what's happening. Oh, there's no kickstand. Oh, right. We got to do that. Next video. Okay, so for now, we're signing off. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll get a better brake. An alloy, one of these, this size. We'll put the front brake on because that helps you not burn up your coaster brake down long hills. You know, one-speed cruisers are great until you go down a really long hill and then you catch your back hub on fire from the grease overheating. Don't ask me how I know. I'm just guessing. so yeah, coaster brakes are great. Well-maintained coaster brake is great. If you have a front brake, it's better. If you have double brakes, a rear brake too, you save the bearings in the coaster brake. That's important. Okay, so you know, we did pretty good. And tune in next time and we'll try to get a chain guard on this baby. And we'll try to get a kickstand in that little hole. And to do that, there's a special tool. And if you don't have this tool, it's really hard, but you can do it. But this is a really nice tool made by Park. And it helps you get that chain guard in, right in there. And if you don't have the tool, it's a real pain, but it is doable. But I'm not going to show you how to do that. I'm going to use the tool. Okay, so thanks for tuning in and subscribe if you want to.